welcome your #1 sales director for the Emerald Seminar, Independent Future Executive, Senior Sales Director, Stacey Craft.
Thank you for welcoming myself and my unit here. It's the first time in our Emerald Seminar. And thank you to my amazing $1 million unit. I'm standing here representing almost 400 women who make up our Craft #1 $1 million unit. And I am grateful for each and every one of you. Congratulations to the Balling unit and the Boucher unit also. What excellence that you guys have. I'm honored to share the stage with your amazing sales directors today. So congratulations. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. He's blessed our efforts and He's given us favor. And I'm overjoyed and humbled by the blessings that He has bestowed on me, not just in my Mary Kay business, but in my life. So thank you. And thank you, Mary Kay Ash, for this dream company, for giving us a company where you can create whatever it is that you want in your life. I just wish I could have known you personally. Pam Tall texted me this morning and she said, "Is the queen awake? The fairy godmother's awake." And I loved it. And I thought, well, isn't that the truth? Mary Kay is our fairy godmother, right? Yep. With a wave of her wand and a wave of your starter kit, you can create whatever it is you want in your life. But you know what she would say? It would be a little different. She would say, "Bibbidi bobbidi book." Right? Book. Bibbidi bobbidi book. Well, this truly is a dream come true for me. It truly is. I started my business my senior year of college. I met my recruiter Nancy at a booth. I had a facial with her. She taught me how to use the skincare products correctly. By the way, it cleared up my face. I had a forehead full of acne. And Nancy was on target for her car at that moment. Now, I don't know if you realize this or not, but goals with deadlines change people's lives. If Nancy wasn't working to earn the use of that car and go into DIQ, I don't know if she would have shared the opportunity with me. I mean, I hope she would, but I don't know. I was 22 and I had a forehead full of zits, and I only bought 2 items that day. So I wasn't probably the most likely candidate. But if you've ever had a goal with a deadline, you're sharing with everybody, right? Have you been there? You're sharing with everybody. So because she had that goal, Nancy single-handedly changed my life. Or she created it, for that matter. Nancy said to me that day, "Why should you work for somebody else when you could work for yourself?" And I thought, you know what? She's right. She's right. Thank you, Nancy. Oh, and here's what you don't know. Nancy went on to become a director, and then she wasn't in Mary Kay anymore. Her life changed. She went on Mary Kay. We reconnected in January, and she came back in, and she is one of our $1 million unit members now. She sent me home with the choices tape, and I signed my agreement a couple days later, and I wrote a bad check. But I did what every college student does, every good college student. I called my mom and I asked her if I could borrow $100. And I think I paid her back. I really don't remember, but she has not told me that I haven't, so. And when I called my mom, I wasn't just putting my toe in the water to try Mary Kay. I told her that I had figured out what I was gonna do for my career. I had 6 months left in school. Now, I'm not sure I was gonna do Mary Kay. And I'm not sure what kind of conversation that she and my dad had when they hung up the phone, but if they ever had any doubt, they kept it to themselves. So thank you for never creating doubt in me. Because there was certainly enough of that going on around everybody else. You went to college and you're gonna do what? You need to get a real job with a steady income. Like people who didn't even really matter in my life were so concerned about what I was gonna do. Isn't that the one?
Yes.
So I held parties while I was at school. I graduated graduated. I attended my first seminar that summer, and I came home with a goal from seminar to become a sales director by January 1st. I missed that goal, but here's what happened in January. This is a journal that my adopted sales director had given me, and I started a journal, and I'm going to read it to you, okay? So I was a red jacket at this point. And this is a January 5th. It says, I'm starting this because I've always heard you should, and because Pam Shaw read her journal from 1986 and it was neat. So when I'm $1 million director, I'll have this to read to other consultants. I'm not making it up. Before we went to the $1 Million Weekend, I went to find it because I wanted to remember what it felt like in that position as a consultant, and I about cried when I read that I had wrote that line. It's very possible that I could go on Target for my car this month. It's kind of breathtaking. Linda Tupin just picked up the Millennium Cadillac. Wow, I can't wait until I have 1 or 2 or 3. I interviewed Tammy. She's not interested. Not sure she would be. She doesn't like the product. What? Oh well. It was great practice. I need to be more confident closing interviews. I talked to Christy about inventory. She's wanting profit level. That's the only way to go in my opinion. She will be so good. Not long until she has a car of her own. I love her. I really want Mary Kay to change her life. And I didn't write anything for 15 days, okay? So this is January 20th. Teresa, that was my sales director time, called from Arizona today. I couldn't make it all out, but she fired me all up about this Future 8 director thing. I only need 3 more recruits and one present to become active, and I can submit my DIQ paper this month. I've got to work. I have to persist until I succeed. I am scared because once I start, there is no turning back. I want to go all the way to Pink Cadillac. Ah! Can you imagine? Who am I going to talk to? I need to do about 20 interviews between now and the end of the month. And I'm seeing Alyssa in the morning and Connie in the evening. She would be so great. I think I might have to just come out and tell her how it is. And I do not know what that meant. She is the epitome of who I want on my team. I'm doing facials with Gretchen and Lindsay. They would be so good. I'm ready to go. It's going to happen. I deserve it, and other women deserve Mary Kay. I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite parts. I've heard talk about having to sacrifice things during DIQ, and I'm starting to relate. I can't, now listen, let's not get this twisted. I can't believe I'm missing the Crosby, Stills, and Nash concert. I have always wanted to go. I had tickets and it was career conference, so I didn't go. But you guys, that and being late to one of my nephew's birthday parties are the only sacrifices that I can ever remember making in my career. You don't have to sacrifice your family. And we're not even putting ourselves in harm's way for anybody else's safety. That is a sacrifice, and then there was one ultimate sacrifice. So, not a word for this Mary Kay business, I don't think. I have so much to do, so little time. I have to work fast. I know I can do this. I must have faith. There's nothing 2 people can do if one of them is God and the other one is you. Wow. 8 days later, on January 28th, I sent number 7 and number 8 agreements today and orders to the company. I have to work with a purpose. I have to find my why for being in this business. What do I want? How would I see myself when I had it? I didn't really know my why at that time, besides I just wanted a pink Cadillac and I wanted to become a sales director. I want a pink Cadillac. I'm telling everyone I'm getting one, so it's going to have to happen. This is on the verge of being a barf bag goal for me. You know what that feels like? I really think we can do it. I definitely, 15 IPAs, probably 50. This will require huge momentum. I must, gold medal every month. I must master my skills. I can do it. In capital letters, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Now, I didn't write in that journal again until almost 2 years later when I was on my first top director trip to Vienna, Austria. In those 2 years, I had debuted as a sales director, earned my first pink Cadillac on my 24th birthday, and completed the $500,000 unit club my first year and earned 2 trips the following year. And that steady income that people were so worried about? Well, it is true that I had to depend on myself for my income. But you know what happened? I earned $60,000 my first year as a director, and then the next year it increased $40,000, and then another $25,000 the next year. And last year, our first $1 million year, I had a $50,000 income increase. Thank you. So they're right, it's not steady. But I'll take it. I'll take it. I then married my amazing husband, Pat, and our first son, Ryan, was born. And I was in uncharted territory, that's for sure. I loved Ryan more than anything from the moment I laid eyes on him, but something wasn't quite right with me. I wasn't myself. A conversation with my cousin made me realize that I was suffering from depression. You see, my only goal for about 18 months had been to pretty much to get off the couch, get dressed, and put my makeup on before Pat came home at 3:30 so he didn't know that I'd been laying around all day. There were lots of tears and no motivation. And I'm not sure if I was hiding it well, I probably wasn't, but if he hadn't figured it out by then, a letter that came from Mary Kay sealed the deal. I hadn't requalified for my Cadillac. In fact, I hadn't requalified for any car at all. The truth was that I hadn't worked my business for over a year since Ryan had been born. I showed up at my meeting and events, but that's about it. Nothing proactive for over 1 year. Now please understand, that didn't just happen. That was me not doing what I had been working. But I'm telling you all of that to tell you this. A couple of years ago, I looked back over my income statements for some reason, and to my surprise, in the worst year production-wise that I had as a sales director, I had still earned over $60,000 thanks to my Mary Kay business. In any other job, I would have been fired if I did not get off that couch and get myself together. Thank you, Mary Kay. So I'm happy to tell you that with the proper medication and a little time, I was back to my old self again. Yes, I had a blank date book, but I knew how to work this business. I started scheduling appointments, and I got back to work. My unit grew, and we climbed back up in the unit clubs, into our Cadillac, back onto the trip, and here we are today. Thank you. So if you have ever fallen down or had a setback, so have I. I've had people cancel, quit, no-show, and break my heart. But you know what? As the saying goes, you fall down 7 times and you stand up 8. And I used to think that when a person would rise to this position, that everything in their life would be perfect. And I remember the first year I stood on stage, I couldn't even believe it because I was pregnant and things weren't perfect. Actually, Trace was a little baby, and he's now 2. And here's the thing, nothing's perfect when you have a 2-year-old, right? It's not. And I think you'd even be surprised to know that right now, I work out of my dining room. I got an office or a desk in the corner, and when the kids come around and I need some quiet, I go in the bedroom and shut the door. So whatever kind of office setup you thought this $1 million director had, you can have too. So whether or not you start your own journal for your Mary Kay goals and the year of your dreams, I want you to realize that by the daily choices you make with your business, you truly are writing yes or no in the journal of your life and the lives of your family. Nancy, my recruiter, didn't know it, but when she wrote yes in her journal by setting a big goal and going for it, she also wrote yes for me. Yes for my family, and yes for the women in my unit, in my area. Each choice you make is writing yes or no. Yes, you can have abundance. Yes, you can be debt free. Yes, you don't have to work that job you hate. Yes, your kids can have more. Yes, you can have more confidence. So it's yes or no. Emerald Seminar. As we leave this magical place that we love called Seminar, my prayer is that you will write yes each day this year and make it the year of your dreams. Thank you.